This is a fresh start for us and an opportunity to reverse course after a very frustrating period of time and dysfunction in the United States Senate. I'm hopeful, I'm optimistic. Some say I shouldn't be, but I am hopeful and optimistic that all of us, colleagues both new and old, Republican and Democrat, will be able to work together to achieve serious and positive results to the many issues that we face here for our country. We have to put behind us those days when Congress careened from one cliff to the next, from one crisis to another crisis, and failing to successfully bring forward positive legislation that addresses the problems that we face. And we face numerous issues. Threats to our security, including radical extremism like ISIS, terrorists like those responsible for the horrendous murders in Paris yesterday, cyber attacks, inadequate border security, and any number of foreign policy issues that threaten our security here in the United States. Unfortunately, many of the administration's responses to these challenges have fallen short of what is needed to successfully address these numerous threats. And thus, addressing these issues and protecting our homeland is paramount in this critical time. And Congress has an important role to play in this in 2015. I want Hoosiers that I represent to know that I will continue to fully engage in what I believe is this essential priority. And here on the home front, the 114th Congress must be about legislation that sets and conditions the conditions for economic growth. I consistently hear from Hoosiers back home telling me that Washington needs to focus on building an economic climate that encourages job creation and expands opportunity for all who seek to work. We have staggered through a very difficult period of time. I believe personally, and I think it has been demonstrated by the results, that the policies of this administration have not successfully addressed this problem, falling far short of what is needed. These concerns must be addressed. They must be addressed now, and there are several areas where Republicans, I believe, can work with the President and work with our colleagues to grow our economy if the President is willing to work with us. Many of these issues have bipartisan support in this Congress. Items such as what we will be taking up very shortly, the Keystone Pipeline. Unfortunately, already the President has issued a slap in the face to those of us who simply want to bring up something that is supported by nearly 70% of the American public, that has been cleared over a 6 years period of time from any kind of negative environmental impact, but has been resisted over and over with less feeble and more feeble excuses from our President as to why we can't go forward with this. Repealing the excise tax for medical devices, again, something with very significant bipartisan support. 79 members of this body in the last cycle voted for repeal of this egregious tax on gross sales that has hampered growth of one of the most dynamic industries in our country, something that provides exports and revenue and high-paying technical jobs that put people back to work and give them decent income. Reforming federal regulations that business after business in my state tell me keep them from hiring and from growing. Opening more markets to American-made products and reforming our tax code. These are just a few of the major issues that have bipartisan support, that need to be addressed, that can be addressed in this Senate, that do have bipartisan support in a way that we can work with our colleagues to bring forward meaningful legislation. And hopefully the President will join us in that effort. In addition to what I have listed, there are many other issues that the 114th Congress must tackle. For example, just last week, an employer survey revealed that a majority of small businesses say that the Obamacare health care plan has reduced their profits, causing many of them to freeze or cut workers' wages or reduce other benefits. This survey affirms the constant flow of letters and emails I receive from Hoosiers who have seen their premiums and deductibles rise because of Obamacare. We were promised by the President that premiums would not rise. Not a penny, he said, and you can take it to the bank. He put a big period. Trust me, your premiums will not rise. Your cost of health care will not rise. That has obviously not been the case. We have seen egregious and crippling increases in deductibles and premiums as a result of Obamacare. Now, with a divided federal government, and in order to achieve needed results, we have no other option but to work together on responsible legislative solutions to grow our economy, tackle our debt and deficit, and keep America's homeland safe from terrorist threats. That is the challenge that's before us. That is the challenge that the American people want us to address. That is the result of their going to the polls in November, in demonstrating what they would like us to do. So I look forward to rolling up my sleeves, redoubling my efforts, and getting to work on behalf of Hoosiers and our nation, and I trust that my colleagues here will join in that effort, and we can move forward in a way that we haven't in the last few years. Madam President, with that, I thank my colleague for the time, and I yield back.